Hey guys, back here again today, and today we're going to be talking about the new album Let the Record Play by Moon Taxi. Moon Taxi is a band from Nashville, Tennessee. Previously has just been a pretty much standard rock band, but for their new track kind of turned more indie pop with a little bit of an EDM touch on a few of their tracks. This is probably due to them getting picked up by RCA Records for this album, since in the past they've been not as commercially popular but still have gained a following, so this is probably their attempt to become more mainstream and become a band more like Imagine Dragons or something. Before this, they've released 4 studio albums and then 1 live album: Melodisa, Live Ride, which is the live album, Mountains, Beaches, Cities, and Daybreaker. Daybreaker being the most popular of all those, which garnered millions of views and plays around all kinds of platforms. Now, if you've heard of Moon Taxi before, it's probably because of the song Too High, which is doing pretty well right now on the charts. Has actually been for quite a while now. But the Moon Taxi's lead singer, Trevor Turndrup, which is how I believe you pronounce it, has said that they've never made a song like this before, after it started to really gain popularity more than any of their other songs. So that was kind of an early hint that this album might not be like the rest. 4 singles were released for Let the Record Play. Originally Too High, which was the big bop that everybody knows now. The self-titled track. Then we had Good as Gold and Not Too Late. So the album actually opens up with the 4 singles, all just hitting right away, and then just completely sliding into the rest of the tracks, which sound a lot different than the 4 singles. The 4 singles were very commercially friendly and definitely tried to sell the album more, as the rest of the album was more just like, not filler, I don't want to say, because I feel like this is a band that actually cares about their music and isn't like just a pop artist that tries to get a few hits. But they definitely are, like I said earlier, we're trying to actually become more popular. The album was definitely pushing them to become more popular. So after the singles, it kind of just turns into a not different kind of album, but it's not really the same as the singles. The build for the album was kind of a little poor in my opinion. It could have definitely used some diversity in the singles. Like I'm saying, all 4 of the singles could really just be kind of weaved together, and if Too High really wasn't that popular, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if people would just like forget it with the other the other singles from the album. They all just have a very, very similar vibe that is not present anywhere on the rest of the album. And as I've said multiple times, not necessarily this is bad at all. They were obviously just trying to be more commercially friendly, trying to get people, but this could have been more misleading in the end, because it's bringing in people and they're expecting this kind of pop indie rock, and then it turns into a bit more rock and indie and not as much pop. The album I'm not a big fan of at all. It definitely just prioritizes being popular. But regardless of the pop songs sounding all the same, they still sounded good. They were all had fun, kind of bouncy feels to them that all kind of make the album seem lighthearted, but the rest of the album definitely doesn't seem that way. The highs for me being Too High, obviously, is that I feel like that's kind of like a Portugal the Man Feel It Steel type song. Like, when people ask you, what kind of rock song, what's your favorite rock song from the year? And to people that don't listen to rock, they're going to say like, oh, yeah, I really like Too High, because that's just the one that everybody knows. But my actual favorite track from the actual album is Keep Me Coming. It's a very exciting, I feel as if it's the most rock-centered song. So far it seems to be the least popular. I'm also a fan of Too High, which sounds very fluid. It's a very well-done pop song by a rock band. And then Not Too Late also, I felt pretty good about when hearing it. It has a bit more of an EDM touch than the other singles. Not so much to really make it stand out a lot, but it's something. The lows was definitely the closing track, The Way. At least there was a little bit on each track that I somewhat appreciated, but The Way I didn't really find anything I really liked at all in it. I just got kind of bored. I just kind of sat through it, and I was like, meh, when is it going to be over? And it was just kind of a poor way to end the album, not very strong. So as I've said before multiple times in this video, Let the Record Play was definitely a jab to get Moon Taxi onto a higher scale or stage for the world to see, and not a rock band anymore. Not that that's bad or anything. I mean, who knows, maybe next time they'll go back to a little bit more rock style, or they'll switch it up and try something else. Who knows. I also feel like the album may have upset a few older fans that maybe really like the rock work, because obviously whenever bands change, people always get upset. But so in the end, I feel as if it's a 6 out of 10 to me. There's nothing crazy strong other than really Too High and Keep Me Coming. The rest of the album is just pretty smooth and nice for me. Nothing I really dislike way too much other than The Way. But yeah.